On this episode, we're recording poolside at the brand new Polynesian Tower and talking about the best Disney staycation resorts across several categories. Today's September 12th, 2025, and this is episode 806 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
Hey, okay, so two things. One, as Jeremy just said, we are poolside at the brand new Polynesian Tower.
Yeah,
and
the
if you
Cove
hear,
Pool.
Yes, if you hear some stuff that is, again, because we are on location.
Yeah, we've done a lot of these lately because we've been so crazy, busy, and on weird days that we normally aren't gone and stuff. And I've got even more of those coming up. So I hope people are okay with some of these, on the go. If anybody gets too loud, we'll just tell them to please be quiet. We're trying to record it.
Right.
I'm gonna get I need to get one of the signs like they have in golf when they get ready to tee off.
Yeah.
They hold up that sign so that
quiet.
People be quiet. But so what we thought we'd do today, since we are
two.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You had a number two.
I had a number two.
What was your number two?
I don't know. I never know if it comes across recording. But I do have some sinus stuff going on. So if I sneeze, cough, or sound like I'm nasally or like a man today, that is, excuse me, that is all that's coming from.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're going to this is going to be like, we have a couple notes and that's it. We basically have some categories and we're just going to have an open discussion.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this. But we're sitting outside, obviously, of the new tower at the Polynesian Resort, the DVC Tower. We are in a one bedroom with our wonderful friends, Chuck and Amy. And so we will talk about the room, about the actual resort and our experience and all on the next episode. But for now, we figured that what better place to talk about a staycation than probably one of the resorts that may show up a couple times during this. So here's what we're going to start with. All right, we're going to look at all these couple different categories. We're going to talk about pool, we're going to talk about dining, atmosphere and theming. We're going to do activities and extras. We're going to talk about romance and relaxation, and then best for families. But all of these are under that guise that this is a staycation.
Yeah.
Right. So that can obviously change. We always think if you're in parks for the most part every single day of your trip, from rope drop to, close, values and stuff are pretty good for you. Value resorts, you can save some money. You can spend the money you're saving on something like a moderate or deluxe on other things. But if you're going to have time at the resort, whether it's your entire trip or even just days, which we also recommend in between, a couple park days,
100%.
Then it really comes into play, I think, where you want to choose. So let's start with the best pool scene overall. Out of all the resorts, we can go from obviously value all the way up to deluxe. Stormalong Bay is going to come up every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Do you feel there is anywhere that potentially competes with a Stormalong Bay anywhere else on property?
Not really. That's really hard, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad because there isn't.
Would you agree possibly the entire Polynesian Resort when you combine now the tower with the main house? I'm not saying it's better, but is it maybe the closest, or maybe over at Animal Kingdom Lodge when you have the Jumbo pool, you got the Kidani pool? Like, let's just say,
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
let's just say that Stormalong Bay, you know, we had a staycation planned because
Yeah.
it's the winter. It's a clear-cut winter.
Right.
If you're coming for a staycation and the pool is what you want to do,
Yes.
you book yacht or beach and you do Stormalong Bay.
100%.
I wouldn't recommend anything else. But let's
Correct.
just say
It
we
was
went to book
closed.
it and it was, or let's
What
just
it
say,
was.
well, Stormalong Bay was recently closed for some refurbishment. Let's just say it's during a refurbished time, or let's just say it was booked. We said, we only have one weekend we can go, from like a Thursday to a Saturday, like we've been doing lately, and it is booked for those 2 nights. What then would be your backup? Again, based only around the pool.
Pool, I know.
You got to try and keep everything else, because
Thinking.
that's hard as we look around the Polynesian to not take everything else into account. But I still think their main pool's incredible. And I think the view in that location of where it is based on Seven Seas Lagoon and being able to see parts of Magic Kingdom, that's allowed to play into pool scene. You know what I
And
mean?
I understand that. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the Poly. And here's the only reason why. Because I love Animal Kingdom, but there's a lot of trees and stuff near it that
Yeah.
I feel like the Polynesian still has that beach more like a yacht and beach.
Yes.
And then you do have that main big pool, and now you have this one over here,
Yep.
which would
And-
you be able to use both of them?
Yeah, I
I'm
believe
assuming.
you can use any of them as long as you're on Poly property. And then
Right.
you have the other pool, the name is escaping me right now. That's over on the other side, closer to the DVC, which we'll just call the regular
Oh,
Polynesian
yeah.
Village and Bungalows, which is a wonderful pool over there too.
I forgot
So you have
about that
access
one.
to 3. We have the new Moana little kids splash
That's
pad area
super
here.
cute.
And to be honest, pool scene does involve a pool bar or grill for drinks and or food. You know, so here you have everything from Walulu to, you know, walking right inside to Captain Cook's. We've had wings and stuff by the pool in the little pool bar, you know, over at the main Poly pool
Well, I
before.
already said this when we went.
Yeah, that's honestly where Stormalong Bay, that's their biggest fault, is I just don't think Hurricane Hannah is that great as far as a dining establishment.
But and I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, when you're there, I
You
don't
don't care.
want anything more than
Yeah.
burger and
Yeah, you're
fries.
true. That's
Like,
true.
it is just so like nostalgic of that's what you
Right.
need to have. Like I just feel like I wouldn't want anything else. Here,
You wouldn't sit by this pool right now with a potential to go poke bowl from Walulu?
absolutely
And think that'd be pretty sweet?
Absolutely.
So I think
but
that's
what
another
I
one that
mean.
might maybe,
like
yeah.
yacht and beach. Like I feel like your beaches and cream. That's what you're supposed to have.
Yeah, that's
Burgers,
true.
That's, what
That's
you're
right. You do
supposed
got to
have.
put in beaches and cream.
Like so. Yes, now that I'm at the Poly, and you should be able to go right 500 feet and get
Yeah.
an awesome poke bowl, which I'm probably gonna get for dinner tonight.
Yeah, we will figure that one out. We ate at Walulu last night.
I might
Chuck
do
and
it
Amy
again.
ate there for lunch and dinner yesterday. And we're not so sure what we're doing tonight because I kind of have plans to spend the rest of this day as a staycation.
Yes.
And just
You do.
relax.
And
We've
I am
been-
going to make sure
yeah,
that happens.
we've been running crazy and I've been working on lots of new stuff. Today, well, if you go to Main ST Magic right now and you go to our shop, we have all new guides that just went on sale today. We got guides for each of the parks. We have some checklists and stuff. We got some planning tools, and then we have a big, massive guide that will cover basically everything you need to know about Walt Disney World. They're all downloadable, and because I happen to be turning the ripe age of 46 on Sunday, for this weekend only, in the launch of these new guides, everything is 46% off. So go ahead and go to mainstmagic.com. You can go to /shop. Check out the guides.
Back to our regularly
Yes.
scheduled program.
I had to put a plug in.
You did good.
Thank you.
Good job. All right. Moving on. So we're going to say, obviously, those win. Moving
Yeah.
on to the next category.
Dining.
Ooh,
Overall dining.
for staycation.
Yeah.
Coronado.
That's a really good pick. I always, because of the sheer
Yes.
amount of dining that they have.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you can get a very themed, a Mexican style meal at Maya Grill.
Mm-hmm.
You can get much more of a tapas Spanish style meal up at Toledo for an elevated experience. You can get everything from a burger to that plancha scallop and mahi whatever bowl at Three Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Even down to cabasa nachos poolside at Siestas
Yes.
is pretty good.
I liked those, actually.
I was hit or miss on them.
I don't know why they hit for me.
For me, the cabasa was great. The nachos were great. Just personally, I didn't like the mashup of the flavors when we had it. But I could see where most people would like them.
Yeah.
I think for overall dining experience, I agree with that.
Okay. I'm just thinking if all of a sudden, this is how I'm gonna think, like if you were like, all right, somebody says I have a food, we're not going to any of really the parks, we're gonna literally stay, but I have a foodie on my hands. Where is the best place?
Grand Floridian is where I'm going next, because I'm going to look at, first of all, Gasparilla Island Grill. I know we haven't actually dined in there, but it's a great quick service. Do you remember the sandwiches and all that when we were doing our Tron preview and we stopped by the pool bar ahead of time?
Yeah.
We sat there, had a drink or two, but we saw those people ordering all the different sandwiches and stuff ready to go. We're great. But when you look at Narcoossee's, Citrico's, and if you're a staycation in your fancy pants and you got some extra money to burn, Victorian Albert's.
Okay.
But Narcoossee's and
right.
Citrico's alone is excellent.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a contemporary? You've got everything from a very elegant, elevated California grill to a technically elevated dining experience at Steakhouse 71, where you can also get arguably number 2 best burger on property in the Smash Burger.
Yeah.
So how would you feel maybe about having one of those types of there slip in? And you're right, it does matter on what type of trip you're having. You know, if you're looking for more of a fine dining, which you could technically still get at Coronado with Toledo.
But I just started to say I agree, but I'm gonna stick with my Coronado. For me. Yes, I agree with you on those things, but there's just, again, I'm thinking, how long's your staycation? And then like unfortunately, when you get some of those places, you're going to have to either do them again or you're going to have to, which is good because sometimes you want to.
Yeah.
But like with Coronado, at least if you're there 2-3 nights, and I mean, you've got Barcelona Lounge, and you want, and you got, you got
Dahlia for other food.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you're like, we are literally not leaving. We're enjoying the pool. We're literally going to have a breakfast, lunch, and you're those type of people too, because we aren't. Jeremy did get, thank you, by the way, for some very good coffee this morning. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, Kona is the way to go here.
Yes.
I know they've got some good Joffreys in the room, but go down to Kona and get some coffee.
And then you did get some sweets.
Yeah, I did get some little sweets. But I just want to say about Kona, I have never run into a cast member there that has been anything less than just absolutely extraordinary.
Oh,
even the sweet little lady this morning, who I think was earning her ears because decaf really threw her off on the ordering, but she was just as sweet, and everybody there, they're just absolutely wonderful.
That's awesome.
I am going to throw in my final pick, and I'm going to pick Animal Kingdom Lodge. Sanaa. So Sanaa is one of my favorite restaurants on property.
So this is what you're sticking with?
This is what I'm going to go with.
Yep. Picking with. Okay.
I'm going to go with Sanaa.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Boma. Breakfast. Dinner.
Yeah.
You could technically eat there twice, right?
We could do that.
Sanaa even has still that grab and go style breakfast in the morning, plus you could do lunch and dinner. The poolside bars have been really great. Now we haven't had food from one of them in quite some time, but it's always been good.
Okay.
And I hate the layout and the way that the Mara works. You know, their quick service.
Yeah.
But the food and all there too. You can usually find some stuff you can't find at every other quick service. So I'm going to stick with Animal Kingdom Lodge. You're going to go with Coronado.
Yep.
And I think we're both right. So now let's move into atmosphere and theming. Look, I know you've been to Hawaii and I have not. Okay. But I've seen enough Hawaii on shows. I watched Hawaii 5-0, right? The newer one. I watched Scrubs when the janitor got married in Hawaii, right? I have seen the Brady Bunch where they went to Hawaii. So I would say I'm just about as skilled in the Hawaiian culture and all as anyone else who's been there. So with that being said, I was walking this morning because I was up early, surprise, around 7, and I walked out here and I walked over to Kona and all that. First, I sat in the lobby there. And you just feel like you're transported to somewhere completely different. Even the walk back, you know, whether it's morning, whether it's night, and the tiki torches are going, the way the music plays, the landscaping, the everything about this makes me feel like I'm in Hawaii without ever having been there.
Yeah.
Like truly. You know,
they do a very good job. Hawaii is obviously because of where it's at and how it gets down at night and the temperature. A lot of things are legitimately open.
Oh, okay.
So in the main lobby. You know how it's it's up top and it's glass.
Yeah, that would be open aired.
Yes, it would.
Which you obviously can't do here.
Correct.
But they
With
do a
that
good job
being said,
of getting that feel, do you think?
Yes, because that's the one thing I'll never forget being in Hawaii. I was just like, oh my God, like this is weird. Like, but it was so freaking cool.
Yeah.
So I will say, yes, Polynesian has killed it with that. So.
And anytime we talk about certain things, especially when it comes to the feels of resorts, we always have to talk summer vibe, holiday vibe.
100%.
And holiday vibe is Wilderness
Lodge.
Hands down. I don't see how anything else could build it.
Nope.
Fort Wilderness could come close, obviously.
Yes.
But I think, and I know we said our piece on the new cabins and all that. The old cabins during the holidays at Fort Wilderness, for me, could almost beat Wilderness Lodge, almost.
Yeah.
But that Wilderness Lodge lobby and fireplace cannot be beat during the holiday season. So
I agree.
All right, so we'll go summer Poly.
Yep.
Wintertime would be over at Wilderness Lodge.
Yes.
All right, let's move on over to the best activities and extras. So we know that, the level of poolside activities goes up slightly from a value to a moderate to a deluxe. We're talking, there's a lot, and I'll talk about some of the things that are pretty common across all of the resorts.
Right.
Movie Under the Stars.
Yep.
Right. Those poolside activities we just talked about. Some of these little extras you get to do, always the tie-dyes, here you have the, what is it? What are the nuts? What are those nuts called? Kukui nuts? Kukui nuts or something? Anyway, you can make a necklace and nuts over here, which is pretty cool. We've done that twice now.
Yeah, you want to do it again?
But I might, honestly. I think it's actually Thursdays. I think we missed it. For some reason, I think it's Thursdays at 2. But
Today
I could be
is
wrong.
Thursday.
Or it's Wednesdays at 2 or something. But so those types of things.
Uh-huh.
Do you have something in mind? Because I know my pick easy. And we were just there, and I just talked about it. You can ride horses. You can shoot bows and arrows. You can see a campfire sing-along.
Yeah.
You can watch movies under the stars like no other place. You
can do the tie-dye there. You can do
all of those things, right? You can, let's put through the stuff that isn't even Disney sanctioned, air quote, like the scavenger hunts. You want to talk about resort activities. You get a golf cart and you get yourself a cabin in Fort Wilderness for a whole weekend. The only downfall is you better not be a foodie because you got to leave property. You know what I mean?
Or just, if you've got a cabin, just bring stuff
so then you could cook. Mm-hmm. And a lot's still to be said for Hoop-de-Doo. Our only show left like that, our only dinner show left on property since Spirit Aloha is now where the Poly Tower sits. So I think I would definitely have to go with Fort Wilderness then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree?
Down. Yep, I'll agree.
All right, let's talk best for a romance and relaxation. So maybe it's like either a couple's getaway, right? Or just a getaway for the two of us or whatever. Other couples kind of like that. You want a nice romantic weekend, or you just want to relax, you want to kick back. Where are you probably heading for that type of thing?
And we have not stayed there yet.
Riviera.
Yep.
Yeah, we come to that a lot.
Yep. I think it's romantic. I think for you and I, like, we would go get coffee together, and we would sit down and play bocce ball, and we would play, I don't know, like checkers, hopefully, if we could.
Yeah. They've got the good quiet pool there. They've got the nice larger pool.
Bar Riva.
Yep. Bar Riva. You can go up
on the Skyliner.
Topolino's for your dinner one night, whether you want to get super dressed up and fancy or just sit at the bar and grab something.
100%.
Yeah, I think that probably would be up there for me.
Yeah. Because if you're not leaving again, that to me is just more romantic.
Yeah. And we always talk about, romantic has this definition, I think, of certain people. Most people think of then like getting dressed up and flowers and,
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that.
100%.
But I think when you do talk about romantic type of weekend, you're gearing towards something that is a little bit on the nicer side as far as that goes. Mm-hmm. Grand Flow, I think, really fits that bill, except that Riviera feels more accessible for average folks like us, I'll say. Like, Grand Flow still has this vibe and this little something that's almost feels a little out of reach of our style. And it's always nuts there.
Yeah.
Because it's on the monorail loop and people want to visit it all the time. So if you want to have a nice romantic weekend, we talk about Grand Flow, like, I don't ever want to stay there during the holidays.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah, which is sad. I mean, because of the insane crowds that it brings from all the other resorts and surrounding areas just for the gingerbread house and all. Not doing the gingerbread house this year, you think, well, maybe this would be the time to stay there. But then you got to deal with all the construction happening down in the lobby and the new bar and all. So it's like...
And then how's that going to be when it's done?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really, really cool. And it looks like it's going to be a good-sized bar. I don't know what kind of small bites or something they might do. It looks like it's going to be really cool. But you also think, boy, that lobby is going to even go to another level of loudness. And you got those tall ceilings that go the entire... basically height of the whole building in that area. So that all that sound just raises up through everything and echoes. And so, yeah, I think I would go with Riviera as well. All right. We're going to do best for families. We'll close out with this one. So you're doing a family staycation. In reality, outside of maybe romance, this is kind of a culmination of everything we just talked about. Because if you're doing a staycation with your family, you're going to want great pool scene, right?
Right.
You're going to want wonderful dining. You're going to want those activities and extras if it's a whole family and you got kids, right? You want the atmosphere and all of that. And so it's almost like the best overall resort for a staycation in that sense.
I guess, but actually what first comes to mind when you ask that for family, though, is Art of Animation in the family suite.
Yes, I think that comes to mind as far as being very, very comfortable, having the larger rooms. Even if you are the semi-standard family of 4,
right? When
you got teenage kids and they don't want to share a bed, it works really, really well. Right. I'm going to go with what I think would be Kaylin's answer. And again, that's where we're sitting right now. Because when I came with her and Talon and we came over to Walulu and we had to walk through, the main poly area and all and come down here. Yeah. She was just like, can we come here sometime for a staycation? Aww. And I was like, yes, let's do that.
Yes, we can.
So we have a duck visitor who's going to be on the podcast. Hello. So I think I would go with Kaylin's answer. I think overall, this is the place to go.
Yeah.
And, again, depending on your budget at that time, you do have the availability of 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms or, you know what I mean? So you can get the bigger rooms here if money isn't a factor, which when we do that, it will be a factor. So we will keep our wonderful travel advisor, Amy, on the lookout maybe. Yeah. That's when I just want to be like, look, if at any time you just come across 2 nights that aren't horrible at the Poly, just let me know. Yeah. And we will see if we can make them work and bring the girls.
Absolutely.
I would love to do that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So would you still stick with an art? And really, if you want to put art into play, you still have the Skyliner and you still have all the accessibility of the other resorts. We talk about that the same way we talk about Boardwalk. Yeah. Boardwalk doesn't have a lot to it. Right. But it has the entire Boardwalk area. It has easy access to Yacht and Beach, over to Swan and Dolphin and the Swan Reserve, all their restaurants. And I feel like that's kind of the same thing at art. You can head to Caribbean Beach. You can head to Riviera. You can hit the Boardwalk area with a quick Skyliner ride.
Right.
So I think art, especially when you're looking more for a value in that size and comfortable family room, that's definitely the way to go.
Because you get 2 bathrooms as well.
Yes, and that's another major thing if you got 2 teenagers.
But again, the Poly Tower, 1 bedroom.
This has 2 full
bathrooms.
Which is amazing.
And does sleep 6.
Yes.
No.
5. Yes. But more on that next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because we will talk about our stay at the Poly and I guess whatever else we get into this weekend. We'll see. We did Beacon Barrel again this morning. I got to take Chuck and Amy over there, so that was wonderful. But you'll hear about the rest of the weekend and my birthday weekend, I guess, on the next episode.
Are you having a good birthday weekend so far?
I am so far. It's been nuts because we got in at 7-something last night. And it just is so far gone very, very quickly. But I've also not stopped doing stuff since I got here.
Right. So we're gonna sign off on this.
Yep. And I am going to
take his computer away.
Where are you going to put it?
I'm going to take it away.
I still have to edit it.
Okay.
We'll do that later.
Okay. But you're going to enjoy, and you are going to.
I'm going to enjoy.
Have a good birthday.
Yes. Well, if you do want to hear all about the Poly Tower, you want to hit that subscribe button. You get the brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. If you go to mainstmagic.com, not only can you find those new guides on the shop, if you go to the shop area in the shop page. But you can also sign up for our email list where you will get news like the release of these guides and some other stuff that we are working on that's coming up. So go ahead and subscribe there. And of course, if you're already out on the internet, Rhonda and I would be so very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.